Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast, focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. All right. Well, hey, let's just jump into, I want to give you these three things, how to make your Christmas magnificent. It's kind of the words that I use. I think Christmas can be, and we'll just kind of broaden it out to the holiday season. The entire thing can be just a tremendous time of the year for everybody. Lots of great things can happen, from late November all the way through New Year's time. And it's something that pretty much is celebrated in every hemisphere. So if you're listening to this in Europe, or if you're some of our folks on our podcast in the Southern hemispheres, all of this stuff kind of makes sense. All right. So during the holidays, let me give you the first one. It is a tremendous time for outreach. It's just a tremendous time for outreach. People will come to church during the Christmas season. They will come to Thanksgiving type events. They will come to kids programs during the holiday season. People love to come and see their children do stuff. And I'm going to cover the children thing here again in a few moments from a different angle. But let me just say something. Parents come to see their kids on a stage. Parents come to see their kids getting an award, and parents come to see their kids, having fun. Okay. So if they're getting some type of presentation or doing a presentation or an award, or if they're having fun, if they're singing, you can get parents to come to that. Now, during the holiday season, it's a great time just to get those folks to come. So I think we need to sharpen up. We need to make sure that we, have our literature ready. This is kind of a children's ministry literature thing that we have. We'll be handing some of those out. Actually, today we've got a great big program going on, but also during the holiday season, make sure your literature is good. Make sure you got some letters that you're going to be working at. Do some postcards, email systems, however that works. And, social media obviously is a great one for outreach. I've got a little poster hangs on my wall, and I went over and took it down. And I wanted to put this up here. I don't know if you can see it all. Get it right there. But basically, it's this idea to reach people no one else is reaching. Sometimes we need to be willing to do what no one else is doing. And that includes some hard work. That includes some meetings. That includes some longer evenings and some dedication and some sacrifice. And we know that the Lord is worthy to sacrifice for. He sacrificed for us. So for us to take time for outreach, we can do that. And during the holidays, we just need to sharpen up every aspect of our outreach engine. And you can think through what that is. As Mike was saying, you can go to Church Marketing University and a lot of other places have a lot of tips. We have a lot of it on ReachKeep.com, how to reach out into your community. But again, regular mail, social media, postcards, handouts, the idea of brochures and flyers and handouts, and have all that stuff ready for what you're trying to do during the holiday season. Now, you can do a lot of different things, and we'll probably be doing some podcasts and teaching on some of those. We do Bible studies on how to have a wonderful Christmas. We have how to do great Christmas programs. We've got probably one of our most listened to podcasts is how to run a Christmas Eve service that's evangelistic and bringing people in. But don't get caught in the idea that Christmas is, they're just going to come once and then they'll never come again. When people come for Christmas, man, that could be the starting point. Everybody comes the first time. And for Christmas, for many, it's Christmas or Easter, they come, but we're going to make the difference in their life. And I remember last year there was Christmas was on a Sunday, and there was all sorts of pastors that were debating about canceling their services on Christmas Sunday. And I was just like pulling my hair out, what's left of it. It's like, no, I mean, have a great service on there, figure out a way to reach more people on those days. And now we have Christmas Eve on a Sunday night, so it's going to be even a better way to reach people. So there's just a lot of things that we can do for outreach. So that's sort of my first thing is don't let outreach, don't think that you can't do it. Don't get so busy. Don't just do your same old sermon series all the way through. Get some special Christmas messages and people will come during the Christmas holiday seasons. And as we were talking, you want to grow people during the year, over the year. If you want to get like 10 new families, pretty good chances that you can get 3 or 4 of them during the holiday season. I mean, because people, that's when they start to come. So keep that in mind, outreach. The second thing that's really important about this, and I wanted to talk to you guys about, is the idea that Christmas and really the holiday season, again, from Thanksgiving all the way through, is probably the most emotional months of the year. It's people, I'll be home for Christmas and I'll have a blue Christmas without you. There's a lot of songs written about it, but because people, they get melancholy, they think about that. And so being at a more emotional time of the year means that if you're going to do some teaching and reaching these people, you can use the feelings, and you can use nostalgia, and you can use the hurts and pains and some of those things to focus down and show them that Jesus is the healer, and Jesus is the one that unifies, and Jesus is the one that gives us the victory. You can kind of focus all those things down there. There are many things in the Bible. I mean, all the Christmas stories. Mary pondered all these things in her heart, and Joseph was kind of going through all these emotional questions about, should I marry or should I not? And of course, the wise men were like, tricked by Herod, or now they got to go home a different way. A lot of emotional stuff, and all of those mean. And I wouldn't say necessarily every message you preach, but there are people that this is a time when they are very thinking, very spiritual things. And we can take advantage of that moment. And I think that our messages and some of the opportunities are a little bit different during the holiday season. I think you can actually just say it from the pulpit. Hey, this is a very hard time of the year for some people. They lost a loved one. Things didn't go well at Christmas. First Christmas as a divorced person. All the different things that go on there. And if you need to talk about that, I'm available. Or after the service, we have a prayer team over here in the corner, and you can pray with those. It means that you probably need to have more fellowship time. And I know our church, we do some parties and some of that stuff, but to just kind of slow down and be together and have some fellowship time during Christmas allows for people who are having an emotional struggle. They view Christmas in a very negative way, for you to be able to talk with them and show them the beauty of Christmas. And so that's, having time to talk, and, having special. We always hand out great things on how to have Christmas devotions. And I challenge my people every year to have daily devotions every day from Thanksgiving Day to Christmas Day. And we give them a Bible reading schedule so they can do that. We also have some other Bible reading schedules. We call it the 12 Days of Christmas, and we start that 12 days before Christmas, and they read very specific verses and have a couple questions tied to it. They read those things, and it takes them all the way up to Christmas Day, so that on Christmas Day, they're not thinking about the tinsel and Santa Claus and the reindeer and, all the goofy traditions that we have, but they're thinking about the birth, the advent, the Messiah has come, joy to the world. I mean, they're thinking of it. And so you can take all this, and during this season, this time of the year, you can do that type of training and offer, like say, more time for counseling, maybe some extra Bible studies during the week. We're considering doing a after church Bible study just right after church on how to have devotions during Christmas time, and do that the 3 or 4 weeks before Christmas so everybody can kind of get into it. So it's just like a one-off class. They come to it, but if they can't catch it, on the 9th, they catch it on the 16th, or, they would catch it on all those different Sundays as they go through after church. So we can teach them how to have devotions so that they can be mentally fit. There's just a huge focus today on mental health in America and North America here about, how we are all messed up mentally. And to me, so much of the answer is the Bible. Okay. It's forgiveness, it's hope, it's reconciliation, it's, humbling yourself. So many of the mental problems really can be solved by missionaries, by pastors, by the local church. So Christmas is a great time for outreach, but it's also a great emotional month during the holiday seasons, and we need to take advantage of that. And let me give one last one, and then we'll wrap this up. And this is, and I wrote down the word kid abuse, okay? Child abuse. And I'm not talking about beating up on children or that type of stuff. I'm talking about children today in general Western culture have the total wrong view of what the holidays is all about. And it is focused on breaks from school. It's focused on parties. It's focused on certainly the, getting gifts and, all that kind of stuff. We have in our community, we have a great big tree in the center part of our community in a little kind of a parkway. And they're going to light the night, okay, coming up here. And they put lights on there. This a local refinery paid about $20,000 to light this tree. I mean, we're talking about a tree that's 5-story tall tree. And they've been up there for the last several weeks putting lights all over this thing. And it's a huge event for, children to come out and they see the lights and they get the hot chocolate and, they have fun and all that kind of stuff. But we are, I think, abusing children if we do not let them know the reason for the season. And one of the focuses that we have had here at our church is that bring your children to Sinclair Baptist on Christmas Sunday or one of our Christmas Eve services so that your children can step away from all the rah-rah, away from the bright lights, away from all that stuff, and they can come and learn the reason for the season. And believe it or not, whether you're, LDS or whether you're just an agnostic or an atheist or whatever, everybody can recognize that children get materialistic during the holidays and nobody likes it. And they do want their kids to recognize the reason for the season. And so we even had years ago, there was the Charlie Brown Christmas, there's a little movie made about it years ago when I was a kid. And it was all about all the stuff. And at the very end, the little Linus guy comes up and says, let me tell you what Christmas is all about. And he gives a gospel and reads the story, the Christmas story out of the book of Luke. And it's just a great thing. And people, there's not a lot of pushback on that. That is what it's all about. Christmas is about Christ. I mean, it has it right in the name. So this idea of helping our children to step away from the parties, away from the programs, away from the materialism, away from the toys, and learn the real meaning of Christmas. Somehow we need to do that in our local church because that's not being done in Hollywood. It's not being done by pop culture. It's not being done in our public school systems. It's not being done in any part of our culture other than the local church. And your local church and my local church is the most important building in the community because we teach the true meaning of Christmas. And so we need to focus on these things during the holidays, the outreach, the idea of recognizing the emotional stuff that goes on there and offering some extra help in that area, and then offering and tailoring our program so that we can help our children grab hold of what the true meaning of Christmas is, and we can break this cycle of materialism and kind of get them going. So anyway, wanted to share that with you, and for folks that are catching this on recording, I hope this is helpful to you. So anyway, thanks for taking a few moments here with me. So